Cyr Wheel technique?
Cyr Wheel technique.
Oh,
Breakdancing.
20 years
I was just hiding it.
on the same stage?
I didn't want to do it at all.
On your website, you have a Cyr Wheel history. Have you done research by yourself?
Yes. I did a lot of the research by myself, and I also went to visit Dr. Winkler. He's the one who wrote the history of German wheels. And I had the pleasure to meet him. He has a huge collection of image and book and history about the German wheel. And it was very interesting for me to understand if there was a cross-influence between the German wheel and the Cyr wheel. There was another invention that was similar, which was called the Inertie. But in the time frame of this discipline, the two disciplines has not crossed path.
Daniel Cyr didn't see German wheel?
No. After he saw the German wheel, Daniel Cyr understood how to better apply the PVC to avoid it to slip.
Okay.
So there was some kind of influence in the making of, but the discipline itself and the basic vocabulary of movement, Daniel Cyr had developed it long before that the German wheel came in the Canadian scene.
That's really interesting. You mean first he did just the metal one, then he saw German wheel, then he applied PVC.
Yes.
Cool.
So I can say even where Daniel Cyr found his source of inspiration for the Cyr wheel, he saw a comedy act with a giant hula hoop. And in the same night, he saw an old ancient coat hanger with a big metal circle. And he made the connection that if the big hula hoop would be made of metal, maybe there will be something interesting to do. And Daniel was in charge of building new props for circuloirs. So he was constantly in search of new ideas. And he came up with this big ring. Then after that, he started to play with this ring. And because of his background with the ladder, right, left, and spin, then that becomes the base vocabulary of movement at Cyr wheel. Then he developed a few other things. Then came the PVC. Then much more vocabulary of movement could be developed after that.
Speaking about the technique, you probably give a lot of technique lessons. Is there any common mistakes you see other people do?
People tend to use too much their arm and not enough their legs. And they tend to be too much inside the wheel, which cut the rotation inward, which help to reduce the space. Many people have limited space to train. So they develop this technique somehow as a reaction to a small training space. This I understand, but still, while you're learning, you should learn in a bigger space, not to get defect and bad habit. Then when you get better, then you can still make it in a training space and not cutting short the rotation.
Do you think that new generation nowadays are pushing Cyr wheel technique in new directions?
Yes, I think that from various schools around the world, new style has developed. Sometimes influenced because of the type of floor, sometimes influenced because of the background of the artist itself, from breakdancing, from contemporary dancer, from acrobat, from aerial artist. They all approach this discipline in different ways. They also meet in convention where they, in big group, have jams and like having fun together. This creates a great inspiration to push this level higher. There is also wheel gymnastics sport in Germany, which has included the Cyr wheel into their sport. So they approach it still with the artistic style, but much more into the acrobatic style. Nevertheless, that pushed the technique to a much higher level, and it is really cool.
Should a young artist seek for a person to develop their act, or should they work on their own?
The answer can be yes and no. If they work on their own, they will develop their own style, their vocabulary of movement, but they might get stuck at some point in the choreography. And when you work too much the creative process alone, you don't see clearly anymore. You perceive the movement and the choreography from the inside, not from the outside. The outside is important because it's the public, is the one that will appreciate your work or not. So looking for outside eye really help to go to the right direction and gain time, because you have direct feedback of the person that work with you artistically.
And what about you? How did you develop your style? Did somebody help you?
At the beginning, not, because there was so much vocabulary of movement that I had to develop before I could ask someone to help me work with that. And then naturally, I found a style through my movement, which was very dynamic, very gothic, very fighter style. It was funny. It was completely different than what the people see in my act now. It was influenced by the people I have met through my work, especially one director who wanted to include the Cyr Wheel in his show, but definitely not in this black gothic dynamic fighter style. That was a no-go. For him, he saw in my work something floating with a white costume, with a minimalist repetitive music. All he told me is, be like if you're floating in time.
Did you accept it immediately, or it was kind of, I don't really want to do that at the beginning?
I didn't want to do it at all. Like, I couldn't see myself with a white costume that looked like a butterfly, and to be such a soft, elegant person. This was definitely not me at that time. But I think this person saw it in me that I have this also. I was just hiding it. And you know, when you're young, you don't know all the different parts of yourself. An act is actually a piece of yourself, and you decide which piece of you put out there. And so later on, I put a little piece of my gothic fighter and a little piece of this elegant part of me. I would say that it just happened as I grew and became more mature as a person, as a woman, that it became part of my style. And I thought that this both combination was really good and working so perfectly with the Cyr Wheel, because the Cyr Wheel has something powerful and something very elegant.
How does it feel to create for others? Is it the same for you? Is there any difference?
Creating for others is a little more challenging than creating for myself, because I have to find the inspiration for the other, with the other. And there's a process about getting to know the other. When I create for myself, I already know myself. I know my vocabulary of movement, my taste, my style, and what inspired me. So all this work I don't have to do, but it's not as challenging. So it's really nice to work with other.
I remember the first time when I just contacted you. We had our first session online, which you gave from a stage of Mannheim Palazzo.
Yeah.
Few months later, I had a tour in Germany, and I was lucky enough to meet you in person. And our next session, we actually scheduled on the same stage, and I was watching the show, which was spectacular. And today we had our last session. How does it feel for you?
I have a great sense of satisfaction because I can see the vision I had now concretized in front of me. I'm satisfied with the result. I think this act suits you very well. And I know that it's not the end, because an act is never finished. It's just a little seed that I planted, and now it will be your job to make it grow. And I know that you have what you need to make it grow.
Thank you so much. It was an honor to work with you. And I guess for me, you could be that person that really put me on a right track.
I'm glad I could put you on the right track. Yeah, it was a pleasure to work with you, really. It's a gift to have a ex B-boy, to experiment different things and to see how fast you grab all the input I give you and how you shape it in your own way. It was a delight. And that's the type of artist I want to work with. And you're one of them. So thank you for choosing me.
And still, Cyr Wheel is still is made out from steel, right?